Hello everyone, this is Daren with Madcap Toys. Thanks for joining me tonight in the Toy Barn. We are doing our momentum board update, and we're basically going to talk to you about where we was last month when we started for this month, and where we ended this month of July 2021, and what our hopeful goals for next month, August, is going to be. Our momentum board has been keeping us on track and keeping us going and actually giving us that push. And I highly recommend, if you don't have one, you get one. Kathy is taking the film back there too. So
hello everybody.
Yeah. But anyway, we basically ended last month at 1,707 items listed here. I hope you can read my Greek. And our dollar amount was $37,857.02. Well, so we roll over on Thursday. By the end of Thursday, the first day of July, we got 1,747 items on, and that day we ended at 39,524.02. Well, let's fast forward through all this, because you can see we had 1, 2, 3, 4 days off and a half day for the month. So we only took 4.5 days off, which could have been about $4,000 to $8,000 in value we could have threw on if we didn't take them off. But guys, you got to have days off. It's very important. But anyway, we ended this month on the 31st right here at 2,281 items. Again, we started at 1,707, and we ended at originally $60,005.49. But if you come over here, you're going to see something weird's happen. 2,281 items. But we went down at the end of the month to 59,978.35. We hit our goal, because our goal was to hit 60,000. But the dollar amount went down because we had some sell-offs. We did sell some nice sized items. And all through this, we've had a lot of items go, because this is our Christmas in July event. And I want to thank you guys all for sitting there and buying off of us and supporting us on that, because you would get random numbers from 50% off to 5% off, depending on what the day was and how it worked. All right. So we did hit our dollar goal. We also wanted to get up to 3,000 items. We did not hit that. Now, we might have hit it in the multiples, but we just go for singular items. We don't count multi-Dutch listed items on this goal. But we hit the 2281, so we was off about 719 items there. But I'm very happy about the goal dollar-wise, because we hit it. But we did go back because we had some late-minute sales towards the day. So our goal for this next month in August, as you know, is going to be, we're going to put a $90,000 go down for this dollar amounts.
Okay.
Okay. I would like to see us, if possible, get up to 3,500 items or more. All right. And if we can do that, that'll be awesome. We're roughly $10,000 away from being midway where we was when we rebooted our stores. Guys, we put on over $22,000, $22,148.47 in dollar amount or value in our store. And we added 574 items this last month, which is down. But a lot of that downage is because we had 4.5 days off. So if you take 4.5 days off, you've got basically 400 and some items or more that could have easily been put on in those 4.5 days. All right, guys, I thank you for your time.
I had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what you're saying there is, by next month, for the month of August, you want to project roughly about $30,000 more, and then rough guesstimate 3,500. Looking at adding the 574 we listed in a month, you know, if we do our best to kind of list quickly, you could see that we could almost get up to like maybe 3,000 at least.
Yeah, the idea though with the number is, I know actual numbers that not everybody that's on this video is into.
Mm-hmm.
The 3,500, even though I don't show multiples here, this item here, this number here, is more like 2,900.
Okay.
Okay. A little over, I mean, maybe 20 items away from 29.
So that number is not based on the multiple quantity items?
No, it's not. But I look at the overall numbers to myself But the goal is to try to hit it there. But if let's say, okay, let's just do 2,700 items. Well, then that don't really push you that much, because that's like, you look and you got 5 days, that's 100 items in 5 days, 2 days off. So I'm trying to give us a little bit of a push. And if I get any extra help besides me or you, which, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't right now. Most of the time not, because of the summertime. But, you've got that little extra that can happen. And it's just one of those things that I'd rather push myself too hard and not make it than have a lower goal and not make it because, we can get there.
Right, and from your experience, too, we're going into we're in the third quarter, in the second month? We're going into that starting tomorrow?
No.
January, February, March is
you're right.
first,
You are
April, May,
right.
June.
Yeah, it is the third quarter.
So what would you suggest if I'm a new seller going into the second month of the third quarter, what to look for, especially in the Midwest when schools are starting? What do you think I should be looking for?
Okay. In all honesty, unless you sell clothes online, you're going to be looking, and this is why we've been pushing what I call rarer base value items like coins for us, because right now is the slowest time of the year for toys.
Right.
Toys will not pick up until the third week of August, and it'll really start picking up the second week of September. Right? You'll notice that. So if you're doing like I do, guys, become creative. Learn to diversify what you're selling. If you've got a mess of stuff and you sell about everything, that's fine, because you ought to be okay, as long as it's quality stuff. But if you're like me, a niche product guy where you sell comics, those are big in the fall, the winter, and, all the way up to early spring. Hot Wheels, well, depends on who it is, when it is, basically. But again, to me, it's basically a toy item, so it follows along with the action figures, the vehicles, the play sets, the dolls, etc., and so forth. The time you hit those is if somebody's had a birthday during the off season for what I do. Okay, so I would say don't get discouraged, but on average, most eBay sellers, Mercari sellers are not aware of the routine usually that happens through the summer online. You have to be able to make it through and say, I know it's not going to be great sales, but it will pick up again. Okay, usual. That's the way it usually goes. So just don't freak out if your sales are a little lower to start with for this month, because people are going back to school. People are having to buy school clothes, school backpacks, school shoes, all kinds of stuff, crayons, what have you. If you're a store and you sell like us once in a while some crayons or backpacks, that's a way to diversify and help yourself out. If you're a regular clothes seller, then you probably know what you're doing in that sense and are diversified already for it. But if not, school supplies is a big one you can make a little bit of money on then and there.
So basically what you're saying is don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Never.
Have a specialty, but also have some things surrounding it, so that way for those lean times that you have other things that you can sell.
Well, I had a viewer, I can't remember your name, I'm sorry, but you'll know who you are when you listen to this video. You said, I'd like for you to tell us how you do what you do and how you sell it. I can't tell you exactly everything I do because that's proprietary, but I can tell you guys that one thing you have to do is you have to be nimble, and you have to be able to pivot. If things slow down in one area, you want to have something else that can pick up that volume that you're used to in your main category. But you don't want to be so specialized that you basically stop yourself from being alive. But you want to be specialized enough where you're not going to face everyday competitors like Walmart all the time. I mean, they may offer some of what we offer, but they're not going to offer everything we offer, because they buy stuff in mass. If you, for instance, look at Big Paul Bear right there behind you, Kathy, if you could, show them the Jumanji right there. That bear right in front, second shelf.
Second shelf. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Walmart's price starting out, I think, was like $3.50 cheaper than mine. And I got some questions on that. Hey, why are you selling this thing, let's say, for $29.98, and Walmart, I can go there and get it for like $24.97 or $25.97 or whatever it was when it first come out. I'm not talking now, but first come out. Well, the reason why, guys, is because they buy, let's say, Jumanji, and they pack up all their warehouses for their various stores in their regions and districts, and they get them by the hundreds and the thousands. We'll get 2 or 3 cases. And so it makes a lot of difference because of the volume. But the fact is this, they may beat me by a few bucks on Jumanji, but they won't be getting all the vintage toys that I have come in. And that's how we have survived a lot, is we have new and vintage. We bring them together. We bring them for the mom and dad. We bring it for the boys and the girls. And we bring things together for the vintage toy collector. And that's very important, that you know your market and you look at who you want to serve and who you hope to serve. That's very, very important. Right? And for you that said, hey, tell me how to, I'd like to know how you do it. Well, I'm not going to give your name because I can't remember. I can see parts of your name, but I just can't put it all together right now on the fly. But if you really want to succeed at this kind of toy business, you cannot just be a one-trick pony. You can't just sell, let's say, Hot Wheels. You got to be able to start out in one section, get enough of them to get people's attention, but then begin to dribble out into other areas. And that's the way you will succeed. The toy business is not easy. It's about like YouTube. It can be very hard. It can be very competitive, and it can be very cruel. Because you've got people out there that have nothing to do but to take and say, hey, you made a mistake. And the problem with the mistake is, they're going to let you know it, especially being a seller. But you can't take everything to heart. So work hard and just keep going, guys. Get yourself a momentum board.